Hi, welcome to the new episode of Sportsy. Let's talk SportsTech. Today we have with us Martin Rice, CEO of Stable Innovation. Stable Innovation is unlocking the secret of horse fitness. In the elite horse sport, up to 50% of horses are injured in overtraining, causing 80% of horses to return no profit from their career. A data-driven approach utilizing a wearable monitor, empowering both trainer and the owner with the insights into horse health, ability, performance, and finances. So we are going to talk about horse, their health, and the stable innovation technology is helping the $300 billion market of horse racing. Please welcome Martin Rice. Hey Martin, great to have you on Sportsy. Let's talk sports tech.
Brilliant. Delighted to be here and really looking forward to talking about what Stable Innovations have to offer.
Yes. So for the viewers and listeners, we have Martin Rice, CEO of Stable Innovation. Very interesting thing what they're doing. They're unlocking the secret of horse fitness. And I think instead of me talking about it, it will be perfect to hear from Martin what got into him to look at the horse innovation on the horse fitness and the predictability about the lifestyle of a horse. So with the name Stable Innovation, Martin, what is that got you to start this and how it all started?
Yeah, certainly. So it came through my background, I suppose. I was an amateur jockey. I did a degree in equine management before that. And on that degree, I got looking at horse heart rates. And I was really intrigued by kind of the blend of the science and the art of riding a horse and the skill that the rider and trainer had to have. And very much then as my kind of own career progressed, I went to a number of kind of large yards on the Curran Kildare that were training, group winning flat horses and Gold Cup horses. And I was just so intrigued by the differences in the individual animals and how they were trained and how people were trying to always find the next best thing, I suppose. And looking at the sport, then I became quite passionate about how the sport kind of was able to compete on a global scale against the likes of football, obviously, and golf, Formula One, these sports that are very, very engaging for the viewer. And horse racing has been going through kind of a phase where the crowds have been kind of lessening, but there's still quite an interest because the fans are so passionate about the animal and the people that work with these horses are so passionate about the animal. So very much it stemmed from my own background in horse racing and seeing an opportunity in the day-to-day in the yards to add the sort of science to the art and to kind of engage people greater in the industry. And I was very lucky to be friends with who is now my co-founder, Brendan Laurie, who's an engineer at the time, and we got together, knocked our heads together for a while and started to build this solution that we offer through Stable Innovations that is today. So I suppose very much if you're looking at the problem, the problem is quite simply the unpredictability of horse racing, and whether that's the breeding, the buying, or the performance of the animal. And that's really what we're trying to solve. We all know that there's the art of horse racing, but we also know there's a science. The world's top breeders, the likes of Coolmore Stud, they churn out quality animals that win races time after time. And it's not a well-kept secret that the reason they do this is because they succeed by using what data they have. They have the breeding aspect within their own racing yard. And, we really want to make sort of the data empowerment to drive your decisions available to everybody through Stable Innovations, And I think it's quite clear in the industry that it's time for something like this. This is an industry where, racing data has been available since about 1770 when James Weatherby was first appointed to the Jockey Club and, they started to register the stud book. So there's been some form of data there, Yeah.
Amazing. And it's a beautiful animal. It's one of the most majestic animals that you get to see. And the journey of the owner of the horse or the jockey, everything is so linked toward the performance. So what are the technologies that you're using? Like what kind of wearable technologies and what other technology are you using to make sure to monitor the whole process?
Yeah, so certainly. So it all begins, I suppose, with that breeding and buying process, the value of the animal. And we've created a very unique way of using data to generate the worth of the animal throughout its life, creating almost a digital living asset of this animal with our public estimated value, which is using current data points that are in the industry to virtually enable us to value these horses right throughout their career, so that at any given day, you essentially know the value of the animal. It will absolutely surprise some people, I'm sure, to believe that often people go to the sales and spend hundreds of thousands, if not millions, on some of these animals. And the day they leave the sales ring, they no longer know how much it's worth because it's all based on potential, you know. Yeah. And certainly, it's time for us to kind of be able to keep an eye on that asset and be able to ensure we nurture it to its greatest potential. And that's very much our first step. So we take a number of different data factors that are out there, everything from its breeding and its pedigree, that would be assessed by kind of individuals on a certain given day to come up with a value. And we just keep that alive with their performance results and their in-training assets and how they're improving to ensure that throughout this horse's life cycle, he always has a value. And somebody, if they're interested, can obviously pick that horse up for the certain given value at any time. And also it means that other people can get involved who haven't before, because if you think, not very many people know the value of a racehorse. And even if you look at a race card, you think these are far out of my reach, or perhaps, you know, depending on what race you're looking at, they might still be. But it allows that greater user engagement to actually look at a race card and know, wow, some of these horses are only 60, 70,000. If me and 10 buddies got together after a couple of years, we might be able to buy one of these fellas, you know? Yeah. So it very much brings that engagement to the users. And I think it also means that with that data-driven approach, we not only unlock the ability for people to purchase and get involved in the game more, people can manage that asset better, you know. I think one of the key things that's very interesting is how subjective the industry is around the value of an animal. Right. And what we do is look to kind of bring that whole process together through the data, you know, and it always comes back to data in this game, because with so many sports, they've already gone there and captured it, and you can see it in the visualization and the likes of golf and Formula One and cycling. But when you turn on the horse racing, it's often quite limited. It's often quite limited GPS data, maybe only, and there's not as much being used. And if you actually look at it, it's argued that only 0.5% of data that's even captured is used in a meaningful way, you know. So that's very much where we come in. We believe we have the power to kind of answer that. What's this animal worth on any given day? And is he healthy or not? And that's the key thing where we link to the performance, because obviously performance is wellness. It's fitness. It has to be both, you know, the ability to compete and the good health to be able to get to the race course and compete. And again, with horse racing, it's that finite, how far can you push the animal to get his ultimate performance before he's overtrained, perhaps, you know? Right. And in a very traditional space is where we operate here, where many generations of learnings have been handed down from, you know, a previous trainer to another trainer, or somebody who does their apprenticeship virtually as an assistant trainer to a great trainer to enter this space.
Yeah. So, Martin, this is pretty interesting. What the whole thing that you're talking about it. But what is the market size for this?
Yeah. So the market size for this is it's actually one of the biggest industries hidden in plain sight. You're looking at over $300 billion in horses annually, that are being sold around the world, and all the broadcasting deals. So it's a massive market opportunity. It's hidden in plain sight, and I know it all too well myself, because I came from a small town called Downpatrick. We had a race course, but or that we only had 2 or 3 trainers around the town, and you wouldn't have thought it was the biggest industry in the world. But certainly you get your eyes open when you start to look at races that are such as the Hong Kong Jockey Club, their you know, Shai Tin, and their $1 million races, and Japan. You know, it's such a global sport. Even going as far as the Middle East, we've been very lucky to have visited Qatar and seen racing in Qatar as well, and it's very impressive. The passion for the animal, you know, in the Middle East region is equaled only or rivaled only maybe by our own here in Ireland.
Excellent. So, Martin, what kind of what all technologies that are enabling the whole process here? What are the variables? Are the horses wearing the variable throughout the time, or they are just wearing it during the training?
Certainly, as we say, we link data from different aspects of the industry, and one of those is through wearables. So wearables aren't a new thing to the equine space. They've been around for quite a while. The issue with wearables really has been the user interface and the engagement with them. You know, often they're seen as a new gadget and they slowly disappear out the door. But very much what we've looked at is that user side of things. You know, we use very sophisticated algorithms to give insights to the animal. So stepping almost to where Whoop is, I suppose, in the recovery, giving people what that is. So our software, we link with a wearable that goes on the girth of the animal currently. Very simple to use. It's one-to-one animal. You know, we're able to supply these directly so that there's no issues with kind of cross-contamination of girth sleeves moving from animal to animal. And it's all user focused. So very much so it's about gathering the data, and we provide insights back to the trainer then. So they don't have to sit and look through charts, you know, pace charts, a heart rate chart, and try and determine how that day was. You know, in the background, we set the parameters. So after a week, we're able to give the norms on every horse in the yard. You know, after 3 weeks, we're able to break down that yard between the top performers, the mid performers, and what's progressing in the yard. So it's very much about the usability factor, and it gives that sense of integrity to the sport, where the owner is able to check in a report and know, yes, my horse has been out of the box. We use a fit score, which is very key, obviously, to bringing them for performance on the day, and we use a health score. So we keep it very simple, very easy to compare, and that really allows us to use this data beyond even that into kind of the industry, where we can see that in broadcasting or in data deals for us as a company. So we're certainly at a place, if you could imagine, you open up your race card and you not only know his rating and his previous performance, but you also know his fit score on the day. You're very much more inclined to know which animal you want to pick to win this race. So
and I think that was my next question. The horses betting is one of the biggest market in the world. So with this kind of data, it's as good as knowing a basketball athletes the training performance and getting to the fans for their excitement. I think this data can be used for betting big way, right?
Oh yeah, 100% they can. And I think fan engagement is one of the key things that's I'm a passionate guy about the sport. I absolutely love it, and I think all we can do is try and engage as many people as possible. And if we're able to do that by actually providing them live insights on the day, or even I think in the earliest stages, making those discussion programs a lot more exciting by actually being able to look at data from these animals in their previous races and deciphering what might just be the predicting factor for their next race. Because everything's based on risk. You know, there's nobody coming up here saying we can guarantee 100% what a result is going to be in a horse race. But it's about knowing what the factors are that are predictable and what's there that can help you make your decision. So definitely there's a new space, and beyond gambling, there's even the whole new aspects of, you know, going into the virtual world of horses as a digital asset. So there's great opportunity here in this space, and that's what really has us buzzed up. You know, we are excited about this. It just creates this amazing opportunity for us at Stable Innovations to sort of open this sport up to growth. And as I say, a $300 billion asset is sitting there waiting to grow, or waiting for you to get your slice of the pie. I'm in. You know?
Excellent, and that is so interesting, and it is and that's where the next question is: are you looking at a B2B model where you kit can be bought by anybody who has a stable, who has a horse, or is it going to be B2B to C kind of thing? How do you plan to sell this?
Yeah, so certainly it's a B2C model through a subscription fee. So the owner simply pays their subscription fee of around £50 a month. They're able to get the live valuation on an animal, and that continues throughout the horse's life. So we give that to them, and we also give the monitor to them on that subscription fee. So, you know, we're giving them these two massive pieces of the puzzle for as little as £50 a month, because, you know, it's about usability, it's about insights for these guys, it's about trying to improve this sport, and very much so if they have that at their fingertips. And it's in a way, you can imagine some of these guys own hundreds of horses, others own one or two, but it's certainly a piece of everybody's entitled to their piece of the puzzle, and that's where we're going. So we have that model where it's subscription based for our users, but then obviously there's value in data, and everybody knows that. And with that value comes our B2B side of the industry, where we're able to essentially supply this data for sales rings, for broadcasters, and then some of those bigger picture plays further down the line. So definitely we're all about using things wisely, and we're not going to chop our arm off, if we see an opportunity.
Yeah. Excellent. And in this exciting journey, what is the role of Qatar SportsTech?
Yeah, so certainly Qatar SportsTech. Well, as I say, we actually journeyed out to Qatar in 2019, I believe it was, for a week, just to kind of we were trying to make some contacts in the country, and definitely we were overwhelmed by their passion for horses, not just the race horse, but in general the Arabian horse. We had some brilliant experiences out there, and that led us then, when we discovered the opportunity of Qatar SportsTech, we knew this was a great hub in the region to be part of, to help us expand our business. So definitely we reached out, and we were very excited to become part of the fourth cohort, and we see it very much as a way to accelerate our business. The guys at Qatar SportsTech keep you very focused. They keep you very driven. It is a structured course, but definitely we see it as our chance to reach those kind of global investors who are passionate about data, about sports, and that's what we see it from them. So they're our launch pad for the MENA region, and then in and beyond, So definitely we're very excited to be working with the team there, and we're enjoying the process so far.
Excellent. And so where do we see stable innovation from here?
Well, certainly, I think it's quite clear to us that our next steps, as with most startups, is about raising the money. So we're looking to raise 1.4 million to take our business to the next stage, and we're using that then to build on our technology and move from working with early adopters to transforming this industry. So it's very much a big step forward for us. We're looking forward to it. We know we have the team here to kind of make it work. And we want some passionate investors on board who really share the big vision that they can see where this sport can transform. So that's definitely where we're heading, and we hope a few people tag along for the journey.
Excellent. And I think the animal that you have touched and you're taking care is one of the most beautiful animals. And I think it's an industry, as I didn't know, but it's a $300 billion annual industry that you're talking about, and nobody's tapping it. That's the best part, and it's huge. So great to have this story and just chat with you for people to understand. There is, if you're passionate about not only sport, but a part of sport also can actually get you a different place.
Oh, certainly. I think the sports in general are a brilliant thing to be involved in, and I think sport where you're engaged with an animal every day is something even better. There's something magical, surely, about both working together to achieve a similar goal, and you can't even talk to each other, but you feel a desire from them to win, and you have the same desire. So I think it's a fabulous place to be, and we're definitely excited to see how it goes forward.
Yes, great, Martin. Wonderful talking to you. Your passion is amazing, and the work is also it's even better. So wish you all the best, and look forward to talk to you soon. And take care, stay safe.
Oh, indeed, brilliant. Thank you. Have a lovely afternoon. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, and thank you for sharing. But please do subscribe on our channel, Sportsy Says, and help us spread the word about Sportsy. We go with the same handle, Sportsy Says, across all the social media platforms.